here, Q&A session. Stop destroying everything. Okay. I was asking about, I had a thing here on puppy acne and bumps on the head or the skin, and they're asking will the hair grow back? Yeah, absolutely it grows back. Yep, not a problem. BL Frenches, hey James, can a blue and tan female with a Merle dam produce Merle pups? Yep, half the puppies should be Merle. What progesterone, this is Chicago website services, what progesterone level on an IDEX is too high for even a surgical AI? So this is one where you know, typically you'd like to do a surgical AI a day after you do a vaginal. You do a vaginal on IDEX on a 15, it's going to go up about 70%. That brings you to something around a 25, or about a 25 on an IDEX would be the ideal range. But remember, you could be a day late on this and still be effective. And a day later after a 25, you're going to be in the 30s, the lower 30s. So, you know, where's the cutoff point? And nobody really knows. But I mean, I think that if it was me and I wanted to get a breeding done, it was 35, I'd still absolutely do the breeding. Could you do a breeding at 40? Yep, I've seen people get away with it. It's not optimum, but you could definitely might get away with it too. So what they're saying here actually, but there's a bit more information, that they order the semen, they're going to do it 2 days after a 16. Well, ideally you do it 1 day after a 16. You're a day late, but you're still within the window, so you'll probably be okay. I talked about dog holiday treat, and I talked about legumes. And this person says it's actually the Allumium family, and that's right. So I got that wrong. She said, this person says, JF says, I will not feed a lot of legumes to my dogs, beans and musical fruit. Beans and musical fruit. Yeah, very good. So yes, exactly. So you are right on that. It is Allium is the group of veggies that you don't want to feed dogs. What is a New Shade Isabella from Randy R? New Shade Isabella is a dog that is little d blue, little b testable chocolate, little co untestable chocolate. That makes for a New Shade Isabella. Nice dogs. Ja Rastafari says, best practice states to breed a female dog on a second heat, but if the first heat comes in when she's over 1 year, should I still wait for the second heat? No, you don't have to. We breed dogs many times that are over a year old on their first heat. So, you know, the reason that they say second heat is typically most dogs have their first heat before they're a year old, which brings their second heat after a year. But if you've got a dog that the first heat comes in when they're 12 months or 13 months old, I'd breed that dog, and I've done that many times successfully. Someone's saying that ours is the best channel. We appreciate that. What happens if you go blue brindle to a Merle? So we don't know what color the Merle is. You didn't tell us about that, but we do know this. You'll get a litter of half Merles. Of that half Merles, half of them will be brindles. So overall your litter will be half brindles. Will you get any blues out of it? Only if the Merle dog carries a copy of blue. Someone's asking about our whelping box setup, our heated whelping system. They're asking, will it catch fire on carpeted floor? No, it will not. It is set up so that it's set up to a number of ways to stop that from happening. Intrinsically, it can't happen because we design a thing so we can never, even if the thermostat failed and it was full blast all the time, it could never get hot enough, you know, to even, you know, melt plastic, let alone catch something on fire. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is there's a thermostat in there, so it's just going to be at 100 degrees, 104 degrees Fahrenheit. That's barely warm to the touch. So this thing's not even hot, it's just barely warm to the touch. When you take, you know, you set your tank in your hot water heater to 140 degrees, that's enough that it could start to get to the point where it might scald you, but 140 won't scald you. Remember, this is just 104, very safe, not a problem. R&G Productions asks about, do you make any videos to explain what to do in the case of Giardia or coccidia? Yes, we do have videos on those, but I've seen breeders just mention puppies eat their poop, but don't go into detail how to avoid or care in those cases. Thank you in advance. So that's going to be the last one on this one, so we'll just talk about that real quick. So yeah, so here's the deal. Coccidia and Giardia are very common ailments for dogs, and will you get that in your dogs? If you do it enough, yeah, you will absolutely at some point have to battle Coccidia and Giardia. It's easy to fix, it's easy to test for. So for both of these cases, you can do a flotation, what's called a fecal flotation, to find out what you do to treat them. Let's just pull over there for a second. And as far as treatments, what we do is we use Trazodone as a pre-treatment for coccidia. We give that when puppies are 2 weeks old. You can treat with Albon after you've detected that you have had coccidia, and for Giardia you can do a Giardia snap test, which I think is the best way of doing it. We do sell those tests. It is a not even a blood test. You just take a little bit of poop, put it in a little buffer tube, squirt a few drops of that into the little cassette. It comes up with 2 lines. You've got Giardia. You treat for that with metronidazole, which is an antibiotic for 8 to 10 days. It's a fairly harsh product. You don't want to just treat for coccidia unless you physically have it in place. All right, that's enough for this one. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.